Welcome to Cocoa Beach, famous for its rocket launches, stunning sandy beaches and surfing swell. However, this weekend it's not surfboards in the water, but powerboats. And not just any kind of powerboat. We've got the world's best powerboat racers from around the globe, coming together for the first time to battle it out in a series of races across the United States. There's lots of familiar faces from the world of powerboat racing, including multiple world champion Steve Curtis. Class 1 is no longer about the money. The new Mercury 1100 engines have put all the teams on a level playing field, so it's not about the bucks, but it's going to be all about the bang. Let's hear from some of the teams excited about the season ahead.
I am Salim Al-Adedi from Dubai. I am driver of Victory Team Boat.
My name is Isa Al-Ali from Dubai. I am in Victory Team. I am throttleman.
Today we are start our new season in this beautiful place, Cocoa Beach, and we are very happy to be part of this event.
I won Victory Team in 2010. 2016 second world champion. 2017 I take the champion with Salim.
It's a bit exciting to be joining this race with new rules. We don't know who will be the best.
My goal is to be take a champion. I cannot say anything till race to read what is it. I am ready, my boat ready, my teams, everything. I will see.
You know, we've got the best boats here in the world, the best teams here in the world, and they're coming to our back door, so really looking forward to it.
Okay, so I have the steering wheel, so I decide where we go, and Steve decides how fast. So I'm trying to keep us out of trouble on the corners and making sure we actually come up to the marks, and then Steve tries to get as much power as he can down for every single lap.
Super important that, you know, the communication between the throttle man and the driver. It's probably the only sport in the world where you're doing something like that. So it really is a team sport in the boat. You know, you 100% rely on who you're in the boat with, and you've got to have 100% confidence in what they're doing.
We're the premier, we're the best, most professional race team in America. We have the same 1100 Class 1 race engines. The racing, you know, we're going to have to work hard this year, as will all the other professional teams, you know, to win.
It'll be interesting, like James said, you know, there's a lot of new boats out here that we're racing against, and no one knows how good the other boats are. So tomorrow's going to be a lot of, you know, cat and mouse, finding out what's going on, finding out, you know, which boats are fast in which conditions. So it's pretty exciting right now.
The boat was originally out of Italy. It was built in the UAE a few years back. It's all carbon. It's the same as Geico, Victory, Sabo, so they're all the same. It comes down to the reliability of the rigging, which should be good. Last year we won the Australian Series, and we come here, and it's great. Great background, great organisation. Really looking forward to it.
Me and Darry, we started racing in X-Cat together 4 years ago. And we bought a new boat 2 years ago, and we don't lose any races, so we are confident. The boat is perfect, the engine is new. We have all the sets we use is everything new. So I think we are in the game for sure for the championship.
Giovanni sounding confident there for Team 222. So let's get the most competitive ever season underway. Mikey Young and Martin Sanborn are standing by. So take it away, guys.
Thank you, Kevin. As we get ready for Class 1 USA Racing, we are on board Team Geico. That's Steve Curtis closing the hatch, James Shepard getting himself all hooked up as we get ready to go with the fastest offshore boats in the world. Here is 222 Offshore. You know, the great thing about this, Mike, is this, as Gary said, is a true international series of boats we have out here on the race course as they're coming up towards the start-finish line.
That's right. Biggest boats you're going to see all weekend. Final race of the weekend. And as you spoke of, a lot of foreign drivers out there.
We have Italy represented, Norway, the United Kingdom, United States. We have boats from all over out there in what is one of the premier classes in all of powerboat racing.
Well, I believe we're just about ready to go green as we are 6 wide coming down the front straightaway.
And here we go, green flag. We are off and running. 222 on the inside. Victory trying to get a jump on them, but they right now are a little bit behind the 222 boat. But look at Geico come up alongside the Lucas Oil boat.
And they are side by side, rail to rail. This is what powerboat racing is all about.
You know, I'm a V-bottom driver. I love seeing V-bottoms out there running with the catamarans. They always accelerate really strong, but once the cats get running, there is no way to get them. Oh, look at the Lucas Oil boat heading down that straightaway.
Oh, looks like a drunken sailor on a 24-hour pass.
Well, if you ever wanted to know what chine walking is, that's it. From side to side like that, that is a brutal ride as we're on board Zabo right now as they drive by Lucas Oil on the outside.
Well, an incredible battle as we see 3 wide coming down that front straightaway as all the drivers head north.
222 on the inside. Victory trying to carry speed on the outside. Geico is way on the outside. They're all required to maintain their lane all the way through the entire north end turn until they head southbound. Then they can change lanes.
Yeah, very similar to what a commitment buoy would be with the APBA.
Zabo right now trying to get out of that whitewash. That is not the fastest water. It's really turbulent on propellers. You lose your efficiency. And right now it looks like we have Victory Team is running in second. There is our leader, 222 Offshore. That is from a team from Italy and Australia. They are out front right now.
Boy, you can see just how rough it is out there as you see him bobbling around inside the canopy.
Darren Nicholson and Giovanni Carpatella out front in 222 Offshore. Victory trying to come up on the inside right now. These boats capable of speeds upwards of 150 miles an hour. They've got a little right-hand dog leg that they've got to navigate on the right-hand side of the turn buoy. Then they go up into their big right-hand turn at the south end of the race course.
And it looks like Victory going to have position when they get to that south end. And here comes Geico.
Geico's just to the inside hip of the Victory Team. Not exactly the best place. They go through the rooster tail now. They decide they're not going to get left the lane, so there's no reason to eat all that spray. And instead, it looks like 222 completely hoses down the Victory Team. Victory Team goes right through that rooster tail. 222 ends up way out front right now as they make their way through the rest of the south end turns.
Yeah, 222 looking really strong out there. They pulled out, gave themselves a little bit of breathing room and put a little bit of real estate between them and second place.
But look at the difference right here as Victory Team squared the turn off a little bit tighter and make it look like they're side by side. Right now, although 222 still has a bit of an edge, but Victory made a fantastic turn on that end of the race course and closed up a lot of that real estate they lost going through the rooster tail.
Yeah, driver showing some mad skills there as they're drag racing down the front straightaway here in Cocoa Beach.
222 on the outside, Victory on the inside. Let's see if 222 gives them a courtesy lane as they get down to the north end of the race course. Looks like they don't have enough room to completely close the door on them. And I wouldn't expect Nicholson to really give him an opportunity. He's going to stick that nose up there. Giovanni Carpatella on the sticks as they're running upwards of 150 miles an hour here on that front straightaway.
Wow, look at that side by side, and that is really hairy. You're going 150 mile per hour. You're in the surf. What's going through your mind, Martin?
Well, right now I'm pretty happy if I'm the Victory Team. They just drove by the 222 boat. Looks like 222's dropping off fairly quickly. They have a problem. But I can tell you, when you're driving that close to the shore break, you hit a little bit of a quartering sea. That's where you see these boats popping up and twitching in the air from left to right. Now Geico drives by 222 Offshore. Clearly from the start of the race, 222 Offshore is off that pace they were. See that little bit of air? It is bumpier than it looks out there, but these guys, they're used to running in this kind of condition. You can see just how perfectly level the boats fly when they're running. Victory Team right now out front, but Geico charging hard from behind, and they're on the outside line.
Yeah, don't count Geico out yet. 222 looked very strong for the first couple laps. Sorry to see them drop off all the way back into third place.
Saw Geico make a square off turn. They just threw on the brakes as they dive into the turn. We have a battle going on, but a lot more racing here in Cocoa Beach.
Martin, Martin, we've had one heck of a weekend.
We've had a couple of lead changes right now. 222 started out in the lead, but they clearly had a mechanical problem as they've dropped off. Geico is now trying to chase down the Victory team. They are on the outside as they head towards the south end of the race course, trying to stay out of that spray. They got to make a run. They got to get up to where they can take advantage and carry speed around that turn, because that Victory team boat is running strong.
You know, Geico definitely didn't have the best of starts. They came out in about third, fourth place, but they've been able to work their way through the pack.
You know, the advantage Geico has is they have experience running these turbocharged motors as opposed to the supercharged motors. And as Gary was talking about earlier, they've got a lot of experience doing their gear ratio and propeller setup so that they can really take advantage of these new Mercury 1100 engines. Victory now still running on the outside. They're out front, and they really control the lane. They can kind of push Geico around. Let's see how Geico handles it. But here comes Geico coming up strong. Boy, did they find some speed, Mike.
They are hooked up on the outside as they head south right now. And again, they are rail to rail as Geico trying to make a pass, working on the outside, splitting up just a little bit. Not going to be near as dangerous if he tries to sweep hard on the outside to square off that turn.
You know, he held that inside lane right around the dog leg, but now he's on the outside going around turns at the south end of the race course. Let's see if he can carry that speed and get around. They're now deck to deck as they enter the southbound turns. Geico now out front a little bit, but look at a great turn by Victory as they square it off. They are side by side all the way through this turn.
Boy, you really have to trust the next boat driver next to you.
No doubt, especially when you're going in a following sea heading towards the beach. Now Geico squares it off and kind of forces Victory to turn as well, but Victory's been turning pretty sharp, so I don't think that's bothering him at all. And here they go. It's going to be a drag race at the start-finish line. Victory has the inside lane, but it looks like Geico is carrying boat speed.
Well, I'll tell you, these fans here in Cocoa Beach really getting treated to some great racing this weekend.
Look at them getting air. Now they're running a little bit over a diagonal the way the sea is quartering and the waves are coming into the beach. And Geico now has them by a boat length as they come to the start-finish line. Geico pulling ahead of Victory and into the lead here in Class 1.
Wow, I'll tell you what, one heck of a race for both driver and throttle man there for Geico. As you can see, still deck to deck as we head to the north section of the track. And it's still Geico by a boat length.
And the white flag is out. Geico is in the lead as we start the final lap here in Cocoa Beach. Victory team in second place. Geico has now moved to the inside as they move to the north end of the race course on this final lap.
And Martin, this is what it's all about. The white flag is flying. This is where champions are made. Will Geico be able to hold on to it?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many laps you lead. You got to lead that last lap as Victory goes way wide on this one. The Geico boat holds that inside lane and picks up even more distance as they make their way around the rest of the north end turn.
Well, they are in control right now of their own destiny.
Lucas Oil coming across the start-finish line now as well. They're also on the final lap as they drive by the Zabo boat.
And look at that, very tight there, last lap as you take a look out from Zabo.
Zabo clearly having some problems, not running up to speed right now.
And here comes the Geico boat, one straightaway to go.
Heading towards the start-finish line, the checkered flag is out. And Geico is going to take the win, and look at the distance they put on that last lap over the Victory team.
Congratulations to the Geico team.
And especially to Steve Curtis and James Shepard, the entire Geico team. They did their homework during the offseason. Steve Curtis, what a great way to come to the USA in Class 1. Let's take a look at our results. The win goes to Miss Geico. Victory in second, followed by 222 Racing, Lucas Oil, and Zabo.
Well, it wasn't easy. Just the finish wasn't easy. It was pretty rough out there. We didn't have a particularly good start. We drew lane 5, so it was really bad coming into the first bend. But after about 3 or 4 laps, we managed to get in the lead and pace ourselves a bit. But it was a good race. They pushed us hard all day long.
I felt that we were both working hard out there, but what a great team. I mean, the boat was superbly presented by all the Geico guys and girls, and it delivered. It was very reliable, felt very safe, and just a fantastic race boat.
Hello and and welcome to the 35th annual Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Festival. Not only is it 4th of July weekend, but this is also the big one, the Monaco Grand Prix of the powerboat racing world, if you will. And 2019 is an exciting year because for the first time, the APBA and P1 have come together under one roof to create a 6-round series that will champion the overall best of the best. And we've got racers from all around the globe because these guys have travelled from far and wide, coming from New Zealand, Australia, Italy, the United Kingdom, the United Arab Emirates, and of course the good old US of A. And after 2 rounds, we have seen some phenomenal action. They went side by side, gunnel to gunnel, on the crashing surf of Cocoa Beach. And then they put the hammers down on the flat, fast water of Lake of the Ozarks. Currently leading the championship is that one just over there, Team Victory, on 196 points, but not a million miles behind them, just on 186 points, is that one just over there, Miss Geico. And that boat is being driven by James Shepherd and Steve Curtis.
Oh, I love Sarasota. This is my third Sarasota race. Yes, we arrived yesterday. The team have done a great job over the last few weeks following the last race. Everything's as good as it can be.
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, we've got a lot to do. You know, after we had a little issue in the Lake of the Ozarks, got to do to try and get into the lead. We gained a second lap before and a second lap before that, so we were closing on them. And then we must have hit some driftwood or something and bent a propeller blade. And when that happens, you get a huge vibration through the boat. So we had to shut down. So we pulled it over, and that was that. You know, we got third place points. We didn't get many points, but it put us back in the championship.
Serafino, I understand though some guys around here might know you as Jimmy, and the guy that you got running alongside with you, Jimmy, is actually the main man of the whole event.
We do. I have Smitty in the boat, who's a great driver. We have so much fun in the cockpit. We both have a great sense of humor. We like to have fun. So it's serious racing, but it's also serious fun. That's what we're about, having a good time. Family, friends, fun. It's great to have the fans with us. We had thousands of people autograph the boat last night at the block party, which is fabulous. Like children, grandmothers, everybody. It was just a good time.
Salem Ali, great to see you here this weekend. You're currently leading the championship. You're on 196 points. Miss Geico on 186 points. Do you think they're going to be your biggest competition this weekend?
We are 3 boats very close to each other. Victory, Miss Geico, and 222 Offshore. So it's gonna be tough rounds. It's gonna be tough championship. So we have to be consistent and finish every race with a good position.
What's the atmosphere like here with your team this weekend? Is everyone excited? Is everyone looking forward to the race?
Yeah, it's very excited to be win and to be leading in the championship.
Well, the Class 1 Championship is certainly set to be a close one this year, and it's thanks in no small part to these things. Twin Mercury 1100 racing engines that all of the boats are going to be running.
One of the concepts this year in the new Class 1 is to run parity in power, so everyone is running our engines on a spec basis. Well, we have data loggers in the boats, and we're monitoring a bunch of engine parameters on each side, port and starboard. We have some redundant sensors on the engine that we also monitor. And then after practice and after the race, we download the data and look at it to make sure that what's coming out of the engines makes sense and that no one's tweaked on them and turned power up. The idea of Class 1 now is that it's boat setup dependent. It's not who's got the most money to throw out an engine and have something that lasts for 10 minutes and blows up.
Well, join us after the break when we'll be going racing at 160 miles per hour. Welcome back to Sarasota, where you join me on the shoreline here at Lido Beach with the race course just somewhere out there behind me. And the Class 1 160-mile-an-hour boats are heading on out to the start line. So let's go join your race commentators, Mikey Young and mine, Sanborn.
Let's take a look at the race course. 6.2 miles clockwise rotation. The start-finish line right in front of the beach. A long straightaway between 2 and 3, and a fairly sharp turn between 3 and 4 for that diagonal run back to the beach. These are the big boys, Class 1 USA.
Yeah, you got Class 1 USA, you got the V Extreme, and we're just about ready to go green here in Sarasota.
And we have one V-bottom running in the Class 1 USA as well. That's the Lucas Oil Boat. 222 drew the inside lane, so they've got the short way around the race course, theoretically, when the green flag goes up. Onboard Victory Team, certainly one of the teams to watch as we're waiting for that green flag.
Well, I'll tell you, it looks like things have calmed down again for the big boats here, and that's great news for everybody that's watching along here from the beaches.
222, our team from Australia, and we have a green flag there underway, and what a great hole shot for Victory. They jump out front of 222. 222 on the inside, Victory now out to a 2-boat length lead as they head toward the north end of the race course.
Yeah, very nice hole shot there for Salim and his partner as we take a look through the back of 222 Offshore.
222 will have the inside as they go around that turn. There you see Geico in third place. 222 just getting as close to that mark as they possibly could. Victory Team still way out front right now. They're making a great way around that race course. They go a little bit wide every time. They leave 222 plenty of time on the inside. 222 squaring the turnoff, but they're not able to run down Victory.
Yeah, you could see how tight he was to that buoy, not leaving the door open whatsoever.
And Geico goes wide. They're still running in third place as we go on board with Scuderia Kazani.
Hey, they're looking pretty casual there.
They are. Look really relaxed. In fact, there's a cooler right there. Why wouldn't you go boating in Sarasota on 4th of July weekend without a cooler?
Hey, man, great idea, great idea. And that's a great shot of our top 3 coming down the front straightaway.
Victory out front, 222 on the inside. On the outside, that was Geico. Victory coming across. This has been the roughest part of the race course all day long, but it looks like it has indeed settled down as we go on board 222, and you see that gap with them and Geico, and that wake right off to their left-hand side. That is from Victory Team.
Well, here we go around the turn, and again, Victory still up in front, and back in that second place, I believe it's still the 222 Offshore. Geico in third as we go on board with Lucas Oil.
Lucas Oil, the only V-bottom in Class 1 USA, as we now go on board Scuderia Kazani. You can see he's got one engine that has a little bit more rooster tail than the other. That usually leads you to believe that they've got a problem going on right there. They're trying to get more RPM out of that one motor. As we go back to our lead battle right now, Victory Team here from the UAE, and Geico looks like they've gotten past 222.
Yeah, Geico actually here from the United Kingdom as well. So we got 5 different countries represented out there this weekend.
That is one of the great things about Class 1 USA. These big Class 1 boats are a big international following on these guys, and we're glad to have them here running in the APBA OPA P1 series here in the U.S.
Martin, tell me, what kind of speeds are these guys getting out there?
Well, these boats are capable of speeds upwards of 150 miles an hour. There you see that fire coming out of the exhaust. That's what happens with a waste case when they back those throttles off. Back to our battle for second and third. Geico running in second, Victory in first. Well, right now we've got Victory out front, but Geico is getting so aggressive going into the inside. They're slamming on the brakes late, getting around the turn on the inside, and they try to run them down on the diagonal. As we go back on board Scuderia Kazani, they're doing great, but they still look like they've got a problem going on with that right side motor.
Yeah, meanwhile, with that going on back there, the race is really heating up for first place. Again, you can see Victory up in front. Just off to their right is Geico. Geico trying to get that position.
You know, Geico does really well on that back straightaway. They just dive into that back turn. They make up ground, but Victory clearly has some boat speed as they go around the beach side of the race course, and on that back straightaway, they hold them off.
You know, I'll tell you, they are really letting it all hang out.
Well, we're down to within 2 laps of the end of the race here as Victory Team out front there. They got clean water. Wait, the weather's cleared a little bit. The water's laid down a little bit. These guys are moving. Victory Team is out front. Geico in second place. And you see how close they're getting coming into the turns as Geico tries to take the inside line every time.
All right, and I believe we're headed on to our final lap of the weekend here. And what a great weekend it has been here in Sarasota.
And there's our leader in the V Extreme class. That was Team Instigator. And we have one other V-bottom out there, the Hurricane of Awesomeness, rounding out our V Extreme classes right now. Once again, we have Victory Team coming on the diagonal towards the beach ahead of Geico. Geico on that inside lane. Keep in mind, these boats are running upwards of 150 miles an hour right now as they come towards the beach.
Boy, I'll tell you, Geico really trying to sneak it in there, and we'll see if they can do that. Again, came all the way over from the United Kingdom as we go back on board with Scuderia Kazani.
Victory Team has opened up a little bit more of a margin on that straightaway as it looks like they're getting ready to put Lucas Oil down a lap. Look at that, he just closed the door on him. Victory didn't give him anywhere to go. Geico had to go through the rooster tail as we go back on board with Lucas Oil.
Yeah, Lucas Oil, you can see him bouncing around out there, riding in the chop of these top 3 boats.
They're about to get put down a lap by Victory Team. Victory coming by on the inside of Lucas Oil. But Geico got forced to go through the rooster tail at that turn, so they're on the outside.
Back on board with Scuderia Kazani. And again, you can just see how much they're bouncing around inside that canopy.
You know, it's definitely a little more calm than it was earlier in the day. And once again, Victory Team holds them off. 222 still in the background there, running in 3rd place.
Well, I'll tell you, 3rd place, a good position to be in if something happens up there in the top 2. And the top 2 really pressing each other right now.
Well, they know that they're coming up towards a white flag lap, and they're absolutely running it hard, and I would expect to see Geico run as hard as they can possibly run this lap. You know, if there's only a couple more laps to go, you really do not have time to play games. You've got to get on it. You've got to push the thing to the limits. As we go on board 222 Offshore, they're currently running in 3rd place, but really the battle right now is for the lead between Victory and Geico, and we are on the white flag lap.
Boy, I'll tell you, they are throttling down there in Victory, and you can see not leaving any room there, not leaving the door open for Geico to sneak back in.
Yep, Geico, they take that inside lane, but they have to go through and then they have to come back on the inside. Now Geico's running right to the inside of the wake. They are on the back straightaway. This is the final lap. Geico trying to run them down. Let's see if they put the brakes on late getting into the turn and try to close the gap. Victory through the turn. Geico goes through. Oh, Geico hooked it. Geico hooks and flips the boat over. You saw the canopy flying away. That was the engine hatch. And Victory Team, whoa, Victory Team goes over too. Victory Team didn't have anything in front of them. They just kind of slow roll over, but Geico hooked it and they snap rolled hard on the last lap.
Wow, that was absolutely crazy. I'm not sure what happened there with Victory, why Victory went over. You could see that Geico kind of hooked it as they were going through the chop.
They went right through the rooster tail. Let's take a look at it again. You see Geico going through the rooster tail, and they skip across the wake. The wake transitions over the bow. They hook that outside sponson, and the boat violently snap rolls. That's a piece of the engine hatch flying away. And wow, what a rough ride for Geico. And let's look at what happened to Victory Team. They just look like they're going around the turn, and they just overturn, and the boat just slow rolls over. At least that one's a nice general roll. That's not hard on the boat. What happened to Geico? That's hard on the boat.
Wow, wow. Well, tough break there for Victory and for Geico as we're cleaning up the yard sale.
Well, this makes it a challenge for final results, but let's see how it shook out after scoring. 222 takes the win. Lucas Oil comes in 2nd. 3rd place goes to Victory, and 4th to Geico.
Darren, Gio, that was quite some end to a race. I mean, what happened ahead of you on that final couple of corners? I bet you couldn't have predicted it.
No, not at all. We seen the big splash and we thought, gosh, Geico's gone over, and 2 seconds later, just a little bit in front, Victory's rolled over. So, no, you couldn't script it, that's for sure.
What we saw is that they push really hard in the turn, maybe too much, because I know very well that kind of boat, they give you right, and then they give you wrong.
So Nigel, an interesting end to the Class 1 race there, but you've been around boat racing long enough to know that these things can happen, and you know, to finish first you've got to finish.
Well, you know, it just goes to show this is an incredibly exciting sport, because who would imagine this would have happened, right? Randomly on the last lap, essentially. So, yeah, no, I mean, it's you never know on the water. It's anyone's game, right? I mean, the Victory boat and the Geico boat ran fantastically, right? But it's you're on the edge out there, and sometimes you catch it.
Yeah, and I'm guessing as the race goes on, the boat gets a bit lighter and you're pushing a bit harder, you still got to keep your head.
You do, and it's as much as it's a sprint race, it's also an endurance race, and it's very unusual, and it's what makes the sport so exciting.
Yeah, and just a quick word about the sport, Nigel, as well. It is good this year because the number of Class 1 boats involved has just made it a great spectacle.
Well, it has. It's international, truly global, right? Where the guys over there, Giovanni from Italy and Darren from Australia. You got, of course, Iser and Salim from the Middle East. I mean, and well, of course, Steve Curtis and James Shepard from England, right? So it's, in fact, Jay is the only American-born racer in the class. Actually, because Jimmy also?
Yep.
Oh no, Smitty.
Jimmy and Smitty now too.
Smitty probably too.
But you're almost outnumbered, Jay.
I am, and they might be a little older than me, I think. At least I'm saying that.
Salem, another Sarasota Grand Prix comes to an end. Safety was the winner here. You both walked out.
Thanks God we are all okay, both of us. This is racing. This is you have to deal with this. Sometimes it happens. It's not under your hand, so you have to keep going. Remove the past and keep going, thinking about the next round.
Let's take a look at our standings here for the APBA OPA Championship Series. Miss Geico out front, Victory in second, 222 in third.
So sadly, another Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix comes to a close. But oh boy, did it finish in spectacular style. Good news was all of those teams there from Geico and the Victory team got out and are going home safely. Here at Fort Myers Beach, the Class 1 teams are getting ready for the final race of the season. And for this round, the Victory team are fielding not one, but two boats. This should be exciting.
Normally I'm driving Formula 1 for Victory team, but then a couple of months ago they called me and asked if I wanted to come and join them for a race in Florida. Like, never been to Florida, never raced Class 1, so it was an easy yes. You know, it's a boy dream to drive one of these boats once in your life. So like right now I'm living my dream, so it's really amazing.
We tested both boats today. We spent a lot of time in the Victory team boat today. Me and Eric did 9 laps, his first time in this boat, so getting him some seat time, but he's an excellent driver, and you know, just getting in the feel for this boat compared to what he does in F1. I think we know what we're going to do tomorrow with that boat. This boat, we got a real good feel for it. I think the weather tomorrow is going to be identical to today, so I think we're going to be in real good shape in this boat.
We are very excited. We know the boats very well, so we don't have any problem. We saw the condition here. Sea condition is very nice, but quiet. No wind, no waves. So I think will be a very calm race, but tough at the same time.
It's a very important race for me and for my team. Equal points with 222 Offshore. I will be fight to the end and be safe to the boat to the end, inshallah.
Also here in Fort Myers Beach this weekend are the ever-popular team of Miss Geico. As we were hearing earlier, they've certainly had their ups and downs this season and are currently sat in third. But with the super experienced team of Steve Curtis and Miles Jennings at the helm, you certainly can't write these guys off.
It seems pretty windy here, but outside it's meant to be pretty flat, and we were hoping it was going to be pretty rough outside, but the wind hasn't come around. So yeah, it's an exciting time. There's still a mathematical chance we can win the championship, although it's very unlikely, but we're just going to go out there. We've made some certain changes from the last race to hopefully gain a bit of performance. So we know we're going to be in the game. We just want to be at the front end of it.
It's a really, really close series at the moment. You know, I was lucky to stick in with Steve for St. Clair and Michigan City. Yeah. And let's see, Englewood hopefully at the end of the year. But the racing's all to play for. Anybody can win. Obviously, we got to come first. Some of the other teams can afford to be second, but it's all to play for. It's going to be fantastic.
It's all been great coming to America to get to race. Probably the biggest low would be the first race at Cocoa Beach when we were in Guardian mode regularly once we got the lead, so that was that. But as a whole up package, it's great.
All the fast driver is here at this moment. Victory with a lot of title. Steve Curtis with a lot of title too. And so the fight is complete. We need only to finish this day in the best position we can, so first.
You can probably see and hear behind me the Class 1 boats are heading on out to the start. So let's go and join your race commentators and take a look at the course and the conditions.
All right, let's take a look at our race course here for the Class 1 race here at Fort Myers Beach. 5-mile lap, 8 turns as they head south towards turns 1, 2, and 3. That'll set them up to go south to 4. A left-hand dogleg at 5, 6, 7, and 8 at the south end of the course set them up for the long straightaway to the start-finish line at the Diamond Head Beach Resort. 6 Class 1 boats making their way towards turn 1, waiting for the green flag. The 2 Victory Team boats straddling Miss Geico as we're still under yellow flag. And there's the green flag. We are underway in Fort Myers Beach. Off to an early jump is the number 3 Victory boat with Salim Al-Adidi and Elsa Al-Ali out front. Geico kind of getting squeezed a little bit as the number 33 Victory boat is pulling up alongside. On the outside is 222. Our one lone V-bottom running in the class Lucas Oil on the extreme outside. So Victory Team has the inside lane going into turn 1. Geico splits right between the 2 of them. They are required to maintain their lane. On the outside of Victory 33, that is 222. So Victory number 3 out front. About a rooster tail behind is the second boat as we go on board with Eric Stark and Johnny Tomlinson in Victory number 33. Just to their outside is 222. 222 and number 3 were tied for points coming into the final race here, as Darren Nicholson trying to get himself around the number 33 boat as he's way to the outside, and off to the inside there is a number 3 as number 33 makes a run hard on the outside, pushing the number 222 boat farther to the outside, which is going to give them a tough place to be when they get to that left-hand dogleg. Let's take a look at that start again. There's 222. Going past number 33, the second Victory Team boat, and their Miss Geico on the inside, number 113. But in the lead going into that turn was the number 3 boat. 222 boat alongside Miss Geico. Geico dropping off just a little bit. As 222 goes around, puts Geico back a little bit farther. Geico slows down going into that turn. As we go back on board with Eric Stark and Johnny Tomlinson in Victory number 33. So your leaderboard right now is Victory number 3, followed by Victory 33, and then 222. On board with Darren Nicholson and Giovanni Carpitiella, as they are currently running in 3rd place, trying to find some clean water to get around the number 33 entry of Victory. These boats capable of speeds upwards of 150 miles an hour, all of them running the Mercury Racing 1100 turbocharged engines. As we again look at the 222 boat, and they are an Australian-based team, but they've got to get themselves ahead of the number 3 boat if they want to take the championship. See him pretty much just holding the throttles wide open, letting off a little bit as they go into the turns. Salim Al-Adidi and Elsa Al-Ali in Victory number 3. Here's the second Victory Team boat, Eric Stark and John Tomlinson. Triple Two tries to split him. 222 is really trying to find some clean water to find a way to get around these 2 boats. As he goes a little bit more to the inside, on board with Miles Jennings and Steve Curtis, on board Miss Geico. Geico definitely in recovery mode after going upside down in Sarasota. Running a spare boat at the moment. On board Victory, as you see the other Victory boat just off to their right. And right now, Victory 33 is challenging number 3, John Tomlinson, moving that boat out to the front, along with Eric Stark. Has him by just about a nose, but he's on the outside, so he's going to have to let off a little bit. That's going to allow the number 3 boat to hold on to the lead as 222 comes in behind him, squares off, goes to the inside. 222, you see him trying to find that clean water. He's back and forth across the wake. It's definitely not as fast to stay right in that white water, as 222 now drives by John Tomlinson and Eric Stark. They are definitely slowing down. Looks like they might have had a guardian situation cause them to drop off, but that puts 222 solidly in 2nd place here in Fort Myers Beach. Victory number 3 continues to lead, and whatever the issue was with 33, they are back up and running, made a great turn to the inside, but they are now in 3rd place, trying to run down Triple Two. Triple Two on the outside, number 33 coming up on the inside. 33 clearly has a little bit of boat speed working for him, but Triple Two carried it on the outside, and they're able to hold him off. As they head to the south turn, Victory number 3 in the lead. Triple Two on the outside in 2nd place, but coming up hard on the inside is Victory number 33 as we go on board with Eric Stark and John Tomlinson. This is on board with our leader, Victory team number 3. Geico currently running in 4th place. Not where they want to be in this competition with Miles Jennings and Steve Curtis. Currently running in 4th position. That battle for the lead right now out front. Victory number 3, Triple Two trying to run up on the inside. Victory team just has to run smart. Oh, Triple Two gets over the top of the rooster tail. Oh, that's a dangerous move. Great recovery by the Triple Two team. That's the risk when you go back and forth across that wake, especially that close to the rooster tail. And you see Victory put the hammers down as they apex that turn, heading onto the front straightaway. And Triple Two pushes to the outside, with Victory 33 going even wider yet as we go on board Victory 33 with Eric Stark and John Tomlinson. And you see their vantage point looking at the rooster tail of Triple Two, with Darren Nicholson and Giovanni Carpitella coming towards the start-finish line. Heading southbound on the course, number 3 out front. They've opened up a little bit more of a margin on Triple Two, followed by the number 3 Victory team boat, as they've now settled into a groove. We also have 2 V-bottoms out there on the race course. This is Instigator Knucklehead running. There is also another V-bottom out there running. That is the Lily Sport Boat entry, but Instigator Knucklehead is out front. There you see the Victory team boat going around the Lily Sport Boat entry, currently running in 2nd place in the V Extreme class. And back on board with Miles Jennings and Steve Curtis in Miss Geico, as they're currently running in 4th place in Class 1. Back to our leader in Class 1, the number 3 Victory boat. They have got to hold off Triple Two in order to win the championship. Triple Two charging up. They go through the rooster tail again, hose down the canopy, trying to find that fast way around the race course to make up some ground on the number 3 boat. Back on board Miss Geico, still running in 4th place. Running solid, but just don't have the boat speed today. Miss Geico with Miles Jennings and Steve Curtis. As we look at our leader coming around the south end turn, and Triple Two right on their tails, continuing to go wide, trying to find that clean water. And the checkered flag is in sight for the number 3 Victory boat as they chase down to the checkered flag. Are they going to hold off Triple Two? It looks like they're going to. Victory takes the win here in Fort Myers Beach. Triple Two comes in 2nd, and that's how they're going to finish in the championship series as well. Victory number 3 takes the win. Triple Two comes in 2nd place. Let's take a look at the results here in Fort Myers Beach. The win goes to Victory team number 3, followed by Triple Two Offshore, Victory team 33, and Miss Geico.
I feel I want to flip like inside the cockpit. I feel like I want to cry in that moment.
So I don't, you know, with the seat belt, I want to open the seat belt.
I am actually crying.
But
And for the 2019 APBA Class 1 USA Championship, victory number 3 takes the win by 1 point over 222 Offshore, with Miss Geico coming in third.
So there you go, the weekend is coming to a close, but I'm pleased to say I've dragged the man, the voice that you've been listening to for the whole show, out of his commentary position, down to the sand. Martin Sanborn, good to see you, my friend.
It's good to be down on the beach.
Here we are, and we are wrapping things up, but you raced here years ago. It is so good to be back at Fort Myers Beach, isn't it?
It's amazing to be back. I mean, I've got a lot of personal feelings about being back here and coming back and going to the restaurants and seeing everything. And then the people have been so excited to have the racing back. It's been fantastic. So looking forward to coming back again. And, you know, this is our first season working with OPA. And what it's really done is the number of boats we've had per event is on a level that's approaching the best it's ever been. So if we can carry on that momentum, that's fantastic for the sport. It's great for all of the venues. Gives us something to do every other weekend, right?
It means we might be back here next year.
You know what? According to a couple people I talked to, that's already in the works.
There you go. Martin, thanks ever so much. We're going to be back here next on the sand, and we hope that you'll be at home watching along. Until then, from myself, Kev Harris, and Martin Sanborn, see ya.
So long.